Hey friends, it's Julie from Plan to Create, and I am here today to give you a flip through my January pages in my hobonchi cousin. I love to take a little time to reflect back to see what has worked for me the previous month. I like to see maybe what I would change up, and then I like to share a few products that I feel like stood out to me this month as very usable and something I'd recommend. So I recently just shared a February monthly setup, and in the process of doing that, I really did walk through a lot of the things that worked and didn't work for me here on my monthly page. So I'm going to kind of skip over to my first week here in the hobonichi for the month of January. And let's kind of talk through some of the things. So 3 things that worked well for me this month. I would like to take a second and point those out. One of the first things I did differently this month in January was to add a step tracker and a creative journal tracker. And trackers kind of scare me, but honestly, you guys, I'm learning to not be so afraid of them. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like a display of failure instead of seeing the display of accomplishment. And so that's something I'm working through, and I'm being brave and putting it out here for myself even, and let alone for you guys to see. So this is something that I enjoyed. In the process of having this here, it really does motivate me. I know when I come to write that number down, I want it to be 7,000 steps or more. And so it's been motivating me. I have a line drawn here through 4 o'clock. And I'm trying to take a walk in the afternoon, just kind of that last little wrap things up from my day, take a walk, then come back and prepare dinner. Some days that works, and sometimes I have something scheduled so it doesn't, but that's just kind of a new thing that I've been implementing, and I feel like it has worked well. So if there's something in your life that you maybe are avoiding, maybe the last thing that you actually want to track might be one of the things that you could go ahead and include on your planner pages so that you can see it. It can motivate you, hopefully for the right, for the right reasons. You can see that I have included that here. I love this tracker sticker from the Planner Spot. It comes in her full monthly kit. But yeah, you'll see that I've included that week after week, and that has been something really good for me. Tracy, you asked me about my creative journal, and you'll see here that I have check marks for each day that I actually take time to write in it. But I'm not a slave to this. I'm not like every night I have to do this. I will sometimes wait till Friday, and then Friday's kind of my creative day. I pull out my stamps and I go back because I have written things down inside my planner here and some information in my daily pages here in my hobonichi. Then I have stuff fresh in my mind that I can go back and I can think through what I want to write about and what I want to remember about that week in general. So sometimes I do it each day, sometimes I catch up. It's totally fluid, and I'm okay with that. It's just meant to be a fun activity for me and not something that is a chore. So if you're kind of on the brink and not sure if you could, make it every day, just loosen up, and just kind of embrace it when you can. And I think you'll be surprised at how much you enjoy it, and therefore you want to come back to it. So another thing that worked well for me in the month of January was a flat week. And so you're going to see here as I flip to week 3, I believe it was, I chose not to use any stickers. Oh gosh, one jumped on my page. I did not notice that until just now. But all I used were just my regular pen and Tombows. I had a little bit of ink that I used to stamp my dinner plate stamps, which you can see are super light. I laid out my sidebar with no stickers, which at first I was so sad because it's just like the stickers definitely are a highlight for me. But I'm putting this in the what works category and in the what I would do different. What worked about this is that it really forced me to think about, just coming into my planner just for the sake of planning and not for the sake of decorating. And I wish I could say that I, made some big changes, but it did feel like it was a good exercise just to kind of rid myself from the distraction, I guess I could say, of the stickers. It's like, what about my week did I really just need to get accomplished? It was a good way to focus in on that, particularly when I was planning it, is when I probably noticed the biggest difference. I really thought that I would work out a new system through this, and honestly I found it reinforced that I have a system that works for me, but it also reinforced that yes, it takes me more time when I pull out stickers and when I have to make decisions about that, but the reality at the end of the week was that I really enjoy that. Using stickers in my planner draws me back. It makes me happy to see my pages when I open them. This, I had just drawn these lines through here because I had stamped the previous week, and I had told myself oh, there's a little bit of bleed through, but it won't matter because I'll just use washi. Well, then I decided not to use any stickers this week, and that was a problem. So I was like, oh, okay, because it could kind of show through and it just looked awkward. So I just came through with lines and I drew that. And then someone was like, oh, it's like you drew your washi. And I was like, oh, wait, I could try doing that. And so I just kind of mimicked the washi that I often use over here. So, I mean, right off the bat, that's a mismatch. And, obviously I don't love that. But it was just like, okay, I can handle this. I mean, I'm putting this under a win category because, like I said, I think it's a good exercise to really come to terms with what it is in your planner. If you're struggling with like how to use your planner, honestly, like stickers can be a distraction, and sometimes stickers can be just the thing to prompt you to be like, oh yeah, I see an exercise sticker and I should put those on my pages. But let's be real, like they can totally be a distraction as well. So it's a good exercise. I would encourage you to try it every now and then, but I have to say that overall, I'm really happy using stickers. Stickers in my planner are part of just what I do. It's just what draws me in. So I don't know if I'll do another flat week anytime soon. Feel free to try that exercise and let me know how it goes for you. But the only thing I can really think of that I switched up, I included this focus. We choose a room each week. So you'll see like here on my monthly, it's like this week is focus on the bathroom, kitchen, blah, blah, blah. And so each week that involves to meet my goals. My goals for the week are to clean, to purge, and to organize that focus room. So I feel like by stopping and, you know, erasing out all of the stickers and the goodies, like I started to think through like how am I getting my weekly, daily goals? And I still am working through this, you guys. Like I figured out ways to incorporate my monthly goals there. My weekly goals, if you asked me what they were right now, I might struggle to tell you what they even were. Oh, I think it's to get the 10,000 steps, so that's represented. It's to maintain our minimal home by cleaning, purging, and organizing a new focus room each week. And my third one is to batch content. And so I'm working through these things. But you know, it's funny. I just think like you can get so distracted by some of the stickers and some of the fun products that like, yeah, for me, I'm like, I have 3 goals. What are they? Like I have to really dig those out of myself. So I'm just sharing that because I'm a work in progress. I'm super inspired by the Planner Spot. I feel like she's so focused on her goals, and then she just, you know, gets all the things done around that. And I'm still a little bit like, okay, I have appointments, and then how do I work in the things that I want to do? It's like I need to be scheduling my appointments according to work those things in. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just sharing that because I'm not here to say I have all the answers. I might have pretty pages that you like, but I am still a huge work in progress on the actual implementation. And so just being honest about that. The last thing that I will mention, it's technically a little bit overlapping from my video that I shared about my monthly pages, but I am enjoying having these calendars here, and it's silly, I'm pointing them out and then I'm not going to tell you what I'm tracking on them, but anything that's getting me back to recording information here on my monthly page is good. I feel like I've mentioned before that I'll fill this page out and then I don't really refer back to it very often, and so having things that draw me back to my monthlies, having things that draw me to my weeklies where I'm coming back and I'm filling in information and I'm filling out my next day, that's good. I'm still, you know, developing that habit, and I'm working on my daily pages. I'm trying so hard to think in terms of sitting down in the evening and planning out the next day. But the bottom line is I'm really just done. I'm kind of enjoying my evening and I'm not really thinking about tomorrow all that much. In my current lifestyle, it's okay. Like I'm not having to plan for a strenuous work day the next day. I know that some of you are much more diligent about that. But those are just things that I'm working on, and so anytime I can have a little tracker or something that reminds me, or, you know, triggers that, those are good things. So the trackers, basically the trackers, adding all of the trackers here, both on my weekly pages and on my monthly, that was a good move for me in January. So things that I would like to change up. I spent a good chunk of January just really like trying to focus and trying to figure out how I could make the Hobonichi Cousin like my one-stop shop. And the issue I have is like with my content creation, like preparing for videos and, you know, the social media that I'm wanting to do to help support those videos. It's something I feel honestly like kind of awkward sharing with you guys because it feels like it's behind the scenes stuff that is just like my own private, you know, mental game. And so it's kind of this weird balance with that, but I really thought like, okay, I can tuck it into my dailies. So I spent a good chunk of January really trying to figure out and just allowing myself like, hey, get messy in those daily pages, figure out what it is, like, you know, get your to-do list. This is like, here I was trying to track social media. Like, here's the pictures you want to take. Have you taken a picture? Have you edited it? Have you stuck it in your preview app? Have you written the caption and put it in notes? Like, I was trying to get these triggers here. But the bottom line is I kind of realized like, oh man, I can whip up something like that I don't have to rewrite every week, and I can have it here in my discs. And so bottom line is I decided I was kind of ignoring a skill set. I can make inserts. I can do that quickly. And as much as I want everything in one book, I felt like it was a struggle to try to make it work. And I was like wasting time trying to do that versus just getting my stuff done. So I'm still here in my discs for that. And this isn't a planner that I really want to share that much, but I'm showing you, like, if I know I'm doing a monthly flip every month, then what worked, what I would change up, and products I'd recommend. I can create this format. It's kind of good. It's triggering me. I really enjoy that. And then for each of the videos, I have a little sheet here where it's like, here's the video. Oh, sorry. Here's the video, and like the week number, it would go up. I'm just sharing one a week at this point. And then on the back, I have like, hey, what content can I make that will support that video? So I'm just not like recreating a wheel each day. To be honest, like I did a ton of content prep. Like I knew we had friends coming, so I had like 10 days of photos all lined up. And then at some point in the middle of that, I was just like not feeling it. Just like, I don't want to share this picture. I don't know. I didn't feel it. And I love the feeling when I'm like fresh from a project and I want to share it with you guys. So I'm just trying to balance that, because right now, like, Instagram is telling everyone, you know, post the same day, post every day, post the same time every day. And I am just not going to be a slave to Instagram. I've said it before and I'll say it again. And, you know, I see it. I see it when I am a slave to Instagram. I get higher numbers of likes and I get a little bit more engagement. And when I take a few days off, I don't. And it kind of sucks because it kind of messes with your brain. But I'm just feeling like I just need to keep doing what I love, sharing what I love, and if it helps someone else, that's awesome. And that's the bottom line. It's really not as much about the numbers and about the game. So while I want to do this, I have all of this lined up, I'm being really graceful with myself. Just like, if I have stuff for that day, great. If I don't, I don't. And there's a lot of times that I have like content all planned out and I can't wait to share it with you. It's like agony waiting till Thursday to share the photo that I want to share. And then there's other times, like I said, where I have photos ready to go and I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like I'm interested in that day. Maybe I'm more interested in planning my outfit or picking out stuff for my house. And I'm recognizing that my creativity sometimes takes a form in paper and stickers, and sometimes it appears in other ways, and that it's okay. And I need to let that be. So that's a lot. Sorry, just diving in here, guys. So that is something that I would change up for February, is that I will not try to squish my content calendar into my hobonichi. I'm just going to keep those separate. This is an easy thing to pack around. This does not leave the house really, so it's just available for me here, and it works out just fine. The second thing that I would have done differently in January is probably, well, I didn't mind the fact that I stamped this. Like, it kind of ended up looking like washi. It was about the same size of the strip. That probably wasn't the problem. The problem was planning the flat week the next week. Like, if I know I'm going to stamp like this, it's a good idea to have washi here, because it would just cover anything that like shadowed through. The last thing that I just wanted to point out too as a lesson learned, the inks. Like, I love to add my little dinner plate stamp, and you guys can probably hardly see it, and that's kind of the point. I'm never going to do that in a black ink. That would terrify me. I'm trying to always use inks that won't shadow through. But this week in particular, I had stamped all of this out in linen colored ink. I've shared that color with you guys before. It's a close to my heart color. It's super light, and I kid you not, I was like, what did I use? Invisible ink? It was so funny. I could hardly see it for myself, let alone take a photo for you guys. So then I came over and I stamped this with, I think, the cotton candy from the stamp market, and maybe I decided to switch and use blush pink over here. Again, you guys probably really can't tell that, and that's why I use light inks, because they're so forgiving. But that was kind of a cluster. So my first lesson learned was don't bother using linen because it literally doesn't show. The second lesson learned is like, how about you stick with the same color throughout the week? Do better, be better. So that's a little silly lesson learned for that. So then, products that I would recommend for the hobonichi. Honestly, you guys, I am not trying to use a huge variety of new things. I love the planner spot. Her sticker kits work really well for me, and some of her basic fundamental stickers have just been perfect. You can see I keep these colors right up here handy, and so that's been really fun. These happen to be the February colors, but I did have January just tucked up there, and I always keep these close because I love to add my little check marks when I accomplish something, and I add an appointment generally just with these dots anymore. I just find that stickers in here, I lean more and more towards the transparent stickers. Occasionally you can see I've used like some of her like quarter box and like some of her deco stuff. But bottom line, I mean, I cannot reiterate anymore. I love the planner spot, and it's absolutely 100% genuine. I'm not an affiliate with her, but I am just super happy to share her products. And in return, she sends me some free goodies that I get to use on my pages. And it's just a really win-win situation because I really do love her stuff and I love to help promote it. I love her aesthetic. and it's really toned me down. I used to use a lot of color on my pages, and I was always kind of thinking of the next color scheme, and I'm still doing that to some degree, you know, switching it up a little bit from month to month, but it just feels really toned down, and it's just nice. It's just letting, you know, my plans and my schedule take the priority instead of worrying about what colors I'm using, etc., etc. The other product I'd recommend is this Ollie clip. I don't know if you guys have seen those before. They come in so many different colors, but this particular one, I think it's called the Damascus, and I got it from, I believe, Rosie Papeterie, but I've also noticed it on Etsy, and I'm not sure if Rosie is still stocked. I feel like she was sold out last I checked, so they're on Etsy, and I will link that below. These clips are just a really nice way to contain some things in, you know, your planner. They're also, you know, a great way if you needed to just clip and be able to find this page quickly. You could do that. There's lots of ways you can use these guys. So that's a product that I would recommend that I enjoyed using this month. And then the last thing I'll mention, I have a video where I created my own little flags, and I was using my label maker to create the words. And I went ahead and I ordered some stickers directly from the Planner Fluent. And so I had like weekly, daily, inbox, as ordered from her. And then I'm just able to stick them onto little page flags. And so I'll show you the page flags I grabbed. So as I replace these, some of them are still from the ones that I initially created, but like this inbox, for instance, is a new one. So I just use this simple white Post-it. I love that it's neutral. So I just had this custom scripts created, and so inbox, weekly, daily, and monthly. So as I need to switch those out, eventually they kind of lose their stick. If you move them from week to week, you know, they just kind of become a little bit loose and probably just dusty. As I need to, I'll replace this weekly with this cute little Post-it white flag and one of those stickers, and it's like the simplest thing ever. So that's the third and final thing that I feel like worked really well for me as a product in January. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this or any of my other videos and you would like to see more, please take a minute to like the video, to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you joining me here, and I look forward to just kind of sharing my process as I'm learning about myself and about my planner. Alright guys, take care.